Hey guys, this is my Fire Knight 25 team based off some inspiration from Stu Gaming. I was able to achieve a personal record run of 1 minute and 19 seconds. So far with what I've seen, this is a high success rate and your times will land anywhere between 1 minute 20 seconds to 2 minutes 10 seconds, with 1 minute 30 being your average. With Fire Knight 25 switching to Green Affinity, we could actually take advantage of Royal Guard and Allure to help control the boss, which we really couldn't do back in Fire Knight 20. With Royal Guard laying down decreased speed and a chance to decrease turn meter as well, and Allure just locking down the boss, there's no threat at all. In this team, we're going to use all the tricks in our sleeves by having refresh artifacts and skill reset cooldowns in our masteries. Just gonna quickly go over our simplest champions first. We have Alure here in a shield set. Just gives another buff for Seer to strip off, and that's mainly it for gear requirements. But 246 speed, you can play around with this a little. You can go faster, you can go slightly slower, but that's my sweet spot that I found. I have a 100% crit rate. You could honestly go 85%. All the minions and the waves and the boss, they're green affinity, so blue can take advantage of that and you can drop down to 85%. 224 accuracy, nothing to complain about. It's very average, but perfect for dungeons. Quickly looking at our skills, not booked anywhere. Looking at her masteries though, of course going to offense tree, picking up a little damage here and there, ultimately landing at Giant Slayer because she'll be mainly using her A1 at the boss fight. Also here picking up some accuracy buffs, improving our set, and also using Evil Eye to get that additional decreased turn meter on that first hit. Quickly going over Prince Kymar, I have him immunity set just to give him one more buff for Seer. I think the biggest problems with consistency at this level is killing all those waves, but I think I've nailed it down. So immunity set, he doesn't even have boots. I have him at 185. I'm trying to keep him as close as possible to Seer, who's the second to last to go. I want him resetting their skills as much as possible. 185 speed, 253 accuracy, not really necessary. Fire Knight never takes a turn, so he's not going to get poisoned or anything like that. And but that's it for Prince Kymar's stats. I mean, all he is doing is resetting as fast as possible. Other skills, not necessary, just need that reset. Same thing typically for Prince Kymar, we're just going down the offense tree, ending in War Master to do a little additional damage for that on the Fire Knight, and also get an Evil Eye, reduce the turn meter as much as possible. Here I have my Lydia. She's geared out for 3v3 arena, to be honest. Just got these 3 sets, but you just really have to focus on accuracy and speed. I have moderate HP, moderate defense, but then again, only focus on accuracy and speed. 239 speed. We're going right after Allure here, and we have 278 accuracy, more than enough. The real sweet spot you're trying to aim for is 220, 230. And also just completely ignore this resistance. Skills, mainly focusing on the A2. We want that on a 3 turn cooldown at a 100% chance, just so we could reapply those buffs, apply those debuffs, so that Seer could nuke consistently. Everything else though doesn't need to be booked. Here I am in the defense tree and support tree going down accuracy, picking up some the set buffs, and also Evil Eye, You can completely ignore this defense tree. If you were to do dungeons only with Lydia, I would definitely go the offense tree ending in War Master. So this is my Seer. I have a Savage set on her, obviously. It's to really help nuke down those waves. They have very high HP, high defense, and it really helps out that we're ignoring 25% of that. Also take note that I have the refresh artifacts on her. This just helps get the nuke faster, and it's quite helpful for reducing time. So looking at her stats, we can see that she's at 192 speed, but we do have that mastery that will increase it when she kills things. And obviously 100% crit rate, that's a necessary. And we also have very high crit damage, 276%, and moderate accuracy, 260, perfect for dungeons. And to make this more like secure, I would probably get higher crit damage if I could afford it in a Savage set. Quickly looking at her skills, I have her booked in everything. Really want that karma burn, to be honest, and this clan banner is kind of a nuisance because sometimes she prioritizes this skill over karma burn. Masteries, going down to damage, going down to crit damage. I feel like that's more advantageous than Helm Smasher, just for consistency's sake when nuking. I also have Whirlwind of Death. So after the first round, she gains 18 speed, and this helps with just speeding up the runs and nuking a little more. Going down the accuracy tree and ending in Evil Eye to get that turn meter reduction on the Fire Knight at the end. I think additionally I have this skill Kill Streak, which will increase the damage for enemies after she kills them. So after the first wave, the second wave should be absolutely no problem. Finally, I have Royal Guard. He's kind of in whatever sets. I actually wanted to focus on a Cruel set because I think the 5% ignore defense really helped out in the clearing the waves, because on the first wave there's a Nethril who has no business of having that much HP, but he does, and sometimes he survives, which could really mess up the waves because everything falls out of line. But yep, mainly just Cruel set, whatever. And I also have this crit damage with the 5% chance to prevent skill cooldown. Looking at his stats, 211 speed. If you remember from Seer, who gets that plus 18 speed from killing folks, Seer ends up being at 210, and then Royal Guard becomes at 211. So he ends up going first before Seer on the second wave. So make sure that your Royal Guard is going first. Crit damage, 296%, going as high as possible. Trying to make those waves as consistent as possible. Also have 85% crit rate. Remember green affinity versus blue, that's why we can go lower. And we got 230 accuracy, nothing to complain about. This isn't booked, but it will soon be at the next clan versus clan takedown. Book it. Even though it doesn't decrease cooldown, that 20% increase in damage does a whole lot. And I would also book this out too. Getting that decreased speed and turn meter reduction on a Fire Knight is key in making sure your team is nice and safe. Masteries here, we're just going down the line and picking up, Whirlwind of Death if we have to do any cleanup, so we just end up killing people. And we end in Helm Smasher because I think this is a little better in killing any of those minions or doing a little extra damage on those minions than additional 20% crit damage. I've tried out both, and I've had more luck with Helm Smasher. Going down the accuracy tree, nothing big, and then ending in Evil Eye for the decreased turn meter, and also Sniper so we can apply the reduced speed and decreased defense on his A1. So just speaking through the waves, Lydia will put up her buffs and decrease defense and weaken. Royal Guard will chip off a decent chunk of their health, and then Seer will finish them off. By the second wave, we do about the same thing with Kymar resetting and everyone getting a second turn. And then our biggest threat on those waves is getting resisted or a minion surviving at the end. If a minion survives at the end, all the following waves and even the boss will have awkward turns. At the boss here, you can see that we cycle through the shield, and then everyone's getting that Evil Eye proc, reducing that turn meter, keeping it in check in order for Allure to get her control over. Allure starts getting the turn meter in check. Lydia starts speeding everyone up with her increased speed, and we have Royal Guard decreasing their speed with his hamstring ability, and then between Royal Guard and Seer, they just take turns nuking the Fire Knight down, and we save additional time with those refresh artifacts and Prince Kymar resetting their abilities, giving us that takedown, giving us that karma burn more often. But as long as you don't get resisted here, everything should go smoothly and you should get a quick time. So in this team I use Blind Seer instead of Royal Guard. It's a lot more consistent because she puts up an additional 10 buffs or so. So the waves are able to be down a lot more consistently. Even if you get a resist on decreased defense or weaken, those buffs provide an additional 100k damage or so. So when we reach the boss here, her A1's actually pretty okay. She has a 3-hit A1, is able to melt the shield a lot faster, but what you're missing compared to the Royal Guard build is that decreased speed. Eventually, at the current speeds I have now, Fire Knight will be able to catch up with Allure. So between Blind Seer and Allure, you're trying to keep that turn meter down without that decreased speed. But since Blind Seer's A1 is so inconsistent, the Fire Knight can escape from you and eventually get a hit in. But Blind Seer is able to put your shields up and also revive, so you will need to fail that turn meter control 3 times if to lose the fight. So I would say the consistency and success rate of this team would be somewhere between 95%, whereas the other one, how I have it right now, I would say is only a 70% success rate. So this is the team I will be using going forward. Quickly taking a look at how Blind Seer is built compared to my Blind Seer guide. The only thing I really swapped out was her banner. It's almost similar to her resistance banner besides the main stat. They're very similar in speeds at least. This brings her accuracy to a total of 210 and her speed to 250 with a healthy HP level at 64,000. Her skills, I buffed her A1 is booked to increase the chance of landing those turn meter decreases. Masteries, if I were to change anything, I would actually take her down to Evil Eye, as well as having Sniper a chance of placing any debuffs from skills or artifacts by 5%. That would help increase that turn meter control. So thanks for watching. Please share what you guys are running. If you have a faster and more consistent time, I'd love to farm Fire Knight a whole lot faster. So good luck to everyone on their journey, and hopefully everyone gets great loot.